We march to victory, or we march to defeat. But we go forward, only forward.
Stannis Baratheon equals Constantine the Great. I recently started rereading A Song of Ice and Fire, and I might give the first 3 to 4 seasons of Game of Thrones a rewatch. Whilst reading Stannis' POV chapters, I came to the realization that he is so similar to Constantine the Great. George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire draws heavy resemblance to real-life historical events and figures. Martin admits to being influenced by the War of Roses, for example. However, the similarities to Greco-Roman, Persian, East Asian, and medieval history go much deeper. I would say that the life of Stannis Baratheon mirrors Constantine the Great perfectly. The first and most obvious point of similarity is religion. At the start of A Clash of Kings, Stannis burns the statues of the Seven at Dragonstone, and under the influence of Melisandre, he has adopted the god of light, R'hllor. In the real world, Constantine adopted Christianity. Depending on who you ask, this was either a political power move, a genuine adoption of the faith, or even both. Regardless, both Stannis and Constantine defied convention, publicly abandoning the established polytheistic religions of their time. They started engaging in and promoting the worship of a new monotheistic religion. Furthermore, at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, 312 AD, Constantine ordered his troops to paint the Chi Rho on their shields, a Christian symbol. In A Song of Ice and Fire, Stannis changes the Baratheon banner, adding a burning heart to represent R'hllor. Also, a side note, Stannis' banner reminds me a lot of some real-world depictions of the Sacred Heart, so there's another little similarity. A deeper connection between Christianity and the worshippers of the God of Light can be seen through the prophecy of Azor Ahai, which suggests that a chosen one will save the world from the long night. Both in the real world and in A Song of Ice and Fire, the Messiah has appeared once, thousands of years ago, and is said to return. This is very similar to the second coming of Jesus and the new Azor Ahai, which is yet to be identified in the books. Some fans think it might be Jon Snow, some people think it might be Daenerys, or a combination of both of them. Anywho, Jesus and Azor Ahai are pretty much same. The next greatest similarity is military and political strength. At the start of their bid for power, Stannis, at the beginning of the War of the Five Kings, has Dragonstone, a valuable castle but small in terms of land and population. Stannis had only a few surrounding houses that supported him, around 5,000 men in total before Renly's death. Constantine was also the weakest in terms of military strength in his day, when the Tetrarchy collapsed and his peers started trying to make bids for power. Just like Stannis, he commanded regions of lesser importance economically and politically. He controlled Gaul and Britain. Britain is of particular interest as it draws similarities to Dragonstone, thus connecting Stannis and Constantine more. Stannis gets news that he is the rightful king when in Dragonstone, and Constantine is proclaimed Augustus, or senior emperor, of the West by his men in York. So both Stannis and Constantine were at a disadvantage at the start of their respective wars, and both governed and ruled from an island for a time. Furthermore, they both share similar prowess as great military leaders, having both won significant victories. However, Constantine is undefeated, whereas Stannis lost the Battle of the Blackwater. Now this brings me to my final point and theory. I believe Stannis will not lose to the Boltons in the north, like he did in the show, and will likely take Winterfell and then march south. I think there is a good chance he will take King's Landing and rule for a short while, just like how Constantine ended up being sole emperor. Stannis will, for a time, be viewed as the primary ruler of Westeros. However, young Griff, Daenerys, the Lannisters or Tyrells, or even the Long Night will cause Stannis to lose his status as primary ruler, and I think, as opposed to Constantine who ruled till death, I think Stannis' time as the primary ruler of Westeros will be short-lived. There is always the possibility that Stannis doesn't go south, and then this theory does sort of fall apart. However, I do think for a time Stannis will be the preeminent king in Westeros.
Stannis, he's got the birthright. He's in his prime. He's a tried and tested battle commander, and he doesn't just talk about paying people back, he does it.
The Iron Throne is mine, by right. All those that deny that are my foes.
The whole realm denies it from dawn to the wall. Old men deny it with their death rattle, and unborn children deny it in their mother's wombs. No one wants you for their king. You never wanted any friends, brother. But a man without friends is a man without power.
For the sake of the mother who bore us, I will give you this one night to reconsider. Strike your banners, come to me before dawn, and I will grant you your old seat in the council. I'll even name you my heir, until a son is born to me. Otherwise I shall destroy you.
I got tired of this shit, I had to let you go. You remind me of something that I think I know. You remind me of myself when I lose control. But